There is a silent system inside your brain that decides what you notice, what you fear, what you avoid, and what you become. You never see it directly. You only see its results. And the strange part is that it speaks in your own voice. In neuroscience, that voice is called inner speech, and it can shape your stress response, your habits, and your identity. Today, we are breaking down the neuroscience of positive self-talk, how self-talk rewires the brain through neuroplasticity, the real mechanisms behind it, and the results you can expect. Stay until the end because I will give you a 20-second self-talk script that can stop a mental spiral on the spot. Most people think positive self-talk is cheesy motivation, but self-talk is not a vibe. It is a cognitive tool. Inner speech is how your brain uses language to guide attention, evaluate meaning, regulate emotion, and choose behavior. You already use it all day. The only question is whether your self-talk is training your nervous system to freeze and avoid, or training it to focus and execute. Before we go deeper, here is the key idea. Your brain learns through repetition, prediction, and emotional tagging. So the sentences you repeat internally do not just describe your life. They train your expectations. They shape what you notice. They influence how your body reacts under pressure. This is why the neuroscience of self-talk matters. Now, here is the part most people get wrong. They try to replace negative self-talk with fantasy. I am the best. Everything is perfect. The brain rejects it. It feels fake. You quit. Effective positive self-talk is credible, specific, and procedural. It is closer to coaching than chanting. Mechanism 1 is meaning. Meaning creates emotion. Your brain constantly asks, what does this mean? And can I handle it? If your inner voice says this is dangerous or I cannot do this, your body reacts as if that prediction is real. That is why you can feel stress before anything even happens. But when you change interpretation, you can change the emotional signal. This is the foundation of cognitive reappraisal, one of the most studied emotion regulation methods in psychology. Brain imaging research consistently shows that reappraisal recruits control systems and can reduce threat responses. In simple terms, when you change the story, you change the alarm. Here is a quick example. Two people get the same critical comment. One says to themselves, I am not good enough. The other says, this is feedback, not a verdict. Same event, different meaning, different nervous system response, different behavior. Mechanism 2 is distance. Distance lowers emotional heat. There is a technique called distanced self-talk. You stop talking to yourself as I and start talking to yourself as you or with your name. Instead of, I am overwhelmed, you say you are overwhelmed, but you can handle the next step. That tiny shift creates psychological distance. Evidence suggests third-person self-talk can reduce emotional reactivity quickly. You are not suppressing emotion. You are creating space. Mechanism 3 is habit scripts. Most daily behavior is automatic. You see a cue, you feel something, you run a script, then you act. Self-talk is part of that script. If your script says this is hard, I will do it later, you drift. If your script says start messy, do 2 minutes, you begin. Beginning is often the real battle. The brain does not need perfect motivation. It needs a clear next action. Mechanism 4 is values. Self-talk can buffer stress when it connects you to meaning. When your inner voice reminds you what matters, stress becomes information instead of a shutdown button. This overlaps with research on self-affirmation and value-based framing. Reflecting on values can improve performance under stress and reduce threat responses. Now watch this. The results of positive self-talk are not just feeling better. The real results are functioning better. less emotional hijacking under pressure, more consistent action because you reduce friction at the start, better focus because you stop feeding threat narratives, higher resilience because setbacks stop becoming identity statements, but only if you train it like a skill. So now I will give you evidence-based exercises. Pick one and practice it daily. If you want the full routine, comment the word coach so I know to make part 2. Exercise 1 is the 3-step scientific self-talk formula. Use it anytime you feel anxiety, procrastination, or self-doubt. Step 1, label the state. My brain is generating anxiety. Step 2, normalize it. This is a stress response, not a truth signal. Step 3, direct one action. Next step, open the document and write one ugly paragraph. This works because labeling gives clarity and distance. Normalizing prevents identity fusion. Directing creates momentum. Exercise 2 is the distanced self-talk protocol. When emotions spike, switch from I to you or your name. Say, Jason, breathe. You can handle the next step. Start now. Or say, you are nervous because it matters. That is normal. Now do the rep. Use a calm, firm tone like a coach. Your goal is not to delete emotion. Your goal is to stay functional. Exercise 3 is a 2-minute cognitive reappraisal drill. Write the stressful thought. Then answer 3 questions. What is the most accurate interpretation? What is the most useful interpretation? What would I tell a friend? Example, if you think, if I fail, I will look stupid, the accurate interpretation is, if I fail, I will feel embarrassed for a while. The useful interpretation is, failing is feedback. My job is to learn faster. The friend version is, you will respect yourself more for trying. This is how positive self-talk rewires the brain. You change meaning, and meaning changes emotion and behavior. Exercise 4 is process praise. Most people praise outcomes. That is fragile. Instead, praise process. I kept my promise for 10 minutes. I started even though I did not feel ready. I came back after slipping. This trains identity in a way your brain can trust. It teaches your system, I am the type of person who returns to the process. Exercise 5 is if-then scripting. Install scripts for predictable weak moments. If it is 7 p.m. and I feel tired, then I say 2 minutes only, start now. If I open social media, then I say not now, back to the task. If I get criticized, then I say extract the lesson, release the rest. Keep it short, keep it repeatable. This is mental programming, not motivation. Exercise 6 is the self-compassion reset. This is not softness, it is sustainability. When you mess up, say, this is a moment of difficulty. Difficulty is part of being human. What is the next kind, strong step I can take? Self-compassion reduces shame, and shame kills momentum. You are not letting yourself off the hook. You are keeping yourself in the game. Now here is the 20-second script I promised to stop mental spirals. Use it whenever your mind starts racing. Say, I notice the spiral. This is my brain predicting danger. I do not need to solve my whole life right now. I only need the next step. Next step, breathe out slowly and do one small action. Then do that action immediately. This works because you label the pattern, normalize the sensation, and direct the body into a behavior that proves safety. One more pattern interrupt before we end. If your self-talk is brutal, do not try to fight it with fake positivity. Upgrade it to precision. Replace always with sometimes. Replace, I am a failure with I failed this attempt. Replace, I cannot do this with I cannot do this yet, so I will do the next step. Your brain believes what sounds accurate. Positive self-talk is not about feeling good. It is about training your brain to interpret challenge as information, not danger. It is about using neuroscience and neuroplasticity to rewire your inner speech from a bully into a coach. Because your brain follows the voice it hears the most. Here is your 7-day challenge. Every morning, write one line. Today, I practice coach talk. Then every time negative self-talk appears, replace the script with label, normalize, direct. If you do this consistently, you will notice something powerful. Your emotions will still exist, but they will control you less, because your brain will start defaulting to a new interpretation and a new next step. The brain does not change through insight. It changes through repetition. Pick one exercise and do it today, right after this ends.